hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new, welcome. All right, let's get into today's episode. We're going to talk about a few things today. The First Baptist Church should be shocking for some. But first, let's begin with the Star Forts. I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but I wanted to cover it because this story is just insane. Fortaleza de São José de Macapá. Right from the start, we are told this place was already occupied by an army from the Old World. From the Old World? Wait, what? Old World? Did one of us write this? I'm sorry, but when you were in history class, were you taught of the Old World? How did this make it into the mainstream narrative? A slip-up for sure. The Old World is the previous civilization. Something happened to this batch of people before us. Either they left for more land that we are unaware of, or they were wiped out. Either way, of course in my opinion, we are left with their buildings, their technology, and possibly much more underground. And this includes star forts. Now they wouldn't tell us that they had trained builders that went to school and actually understood how to construct star forts, would they? Well, let's see who they say were the master builders of this incredible construction. Oh, duh. How did I forget? That one of the things they taught the African slaves was how to construct massive star forts. Honestly, who do they think they're kidding with this ridiculous nonsense? You could have 5 million slaves from anywhere. It doesn't mean that they automatically understand construction. They have given us the master slave building narrative many times. And don't forget that the prisoners are also incredible builders as well. Any one of the slaves or prisoners would work for free and build the most incredible building or structure of all time. My question is, if the prisoners were so good at building, why did they stop using them? Joking, of course. It is ridiculous to honestly believe that the prisoners were just that good at construction, just because they were being told to do it. When you are forced to do something that you don't enjoy doing or aren't getting paid for, you're not gonna go out there and focus on the smallest details and make it perfect, like we're told they did, over and over again. At a certain point, something clicks when you realize that the slaves that had zero training weren't the builders of these places, which is also more logical than believing that the slaves that had zero training built this place. Now, in 1782, the project was completed and the Star Fort was now in use. Oh, right. Did I mention that this was the 1700s? These are the master slave builders of the 1700s. This place is massive. It covers 84,000 square meters. The walls are 8 meters high, bonded with lime mortar. There are 8 buildings located inside the walls, including military barracks, a hospital, administrative buildings, and a chapel. Oh, and the slaves also fully understood how to construct a storm draining system within the buildings in case it rained. Over 300 years ago. Unbelievable. Yeah, I don't believe that. Now they are always telling us that these star forts were used for some sort of battle. Yet in nearly every single case, they never experienced a battle. So sure, they would be a nice place to hide out in, but were they built in the 1700s to protect against bullets, or swords, or cannons? There is no evidence of any cannon smashing into the side of one of these things. Or were they built by a previous civilization for a much deeper, much different reason? Are they built on these specific points all over the world, looking identical to each other, to connect with this realm? Everyone is okay with saying that the pyramids connect with Orion's belt. Of course, that's just fine to suggest. I think it's time that we're allowed to suggest that these star forts are possibly connected to each other, and possibly connected with the stars. And also, they could possibly be connected to a natural energy grid. They're all over the world. In the 1700s, do you think that this slave-leading star fort master builder of South America took his cell phone out and discussed his star fort design with the master builder of the Lerwick Fortress in Scotland, located 5,000 miles away? This one was supposedly built in the 1600s, yet they tell us little is known about the original structure. They say they don't know about it because we did not build this, saying this was for another war. Just totally normal to think that everyone around the world in the 1600s and 1700s, first reaction to having an enemy is to build the exact same structure of a star fort all over the world, thousands and thousands of miles away from each other, across massive oceans. Everyone just knew what to do and how to get it done, and built them with perfection and ease. with prisoners or slaves. And we're told that they don't have power tools. Where do the materials come from? They don't mention any of this. It is incredibly clear that the past civilization had a way to communicate with each other throughout the world. No phones, 5,000 miles away from each other, during a time period of no light bulbs, supposedly. They used their slaves and accidentally constructed the exact same structure all over the world for a battle that never happens. I'm all done being lied to. This narrative is so ridiculous and doesn't make any logical sense. Now, before we get into the next part of this episode, I want to show this picture. This was over 100 years ago in Barcelona. We have animals just roaming this dirt, not a road in sight. Yet, we have an incredible structure that looks like it's survived a major world event. The building looks so out of place. It even looks like we have broken bricks on the ground, right here in the front of the picture, like some sort of